Life has a way of testing us when we least expect it. 4 years, my wife, Elena, had been the steady light in my life, soft-spoken, graceful, and endlessly patient. We had built a quiet, comfortable marriage, the kind most people would envy. Yet behind her gentle smile, there were depths I never fully explored, dreams I never asked about, and passions I had long taken for granted. The night everything changed began like any other Friday. A few friends had invited us to a club downtown, a place pulsing with music, laughter, and energy that made you forget the rest of the world. Clubs had never been our scene. I preferred quiet evenings, and Elena, though radiant in any crowd, usually preferred to stay home. But something in her eyes that evening told me she wanted more than routine. "Let's go," she said with a spark I hadn't seen in years. The club was alive with flashing lights and pounding music. I watched Elena slip into the rhythm of the night, her laughter carrying over the noise, her movements graceful in a way that turned heads effortlessly. I had always known she was beautiful, but seeing her like this, alive, uninhibited, stirred something inside me I had nearly forgotten. And then it happened. The DJ announced a spontaneous stage dance. Volunteers were called up, and before I could process what was happening, Elena's hand shot into the air. My wife, the quiet woman who usually avoided attention, was climbing onto the stage, bathed in neon lights, her silhouette outlined against the cheering crowd. At first, I was stunned. My Elena on stage? She had always been reserved, the last person to seek the spotlight. But as the music surged, she moved with a confidence that took my breath away. Her body flowed to the rhythm, her hair catching the light, her every step commanding the room. The crowd roared, drawn to her magnetic energy, and for the first time in years, I saw her not just as my wife, but as a woman, powerful, passionate, undeniable. I wasn't the only one watching. The room seemed transfixed, strangers captivated by the woman I thought I knew so well. Yet as I watched her, pride mixed with something sharper, jealousy, fear, desire all tangled into one storm inside me. Then, as the song ended and the applause thundered, Elena held the microphone for a moment. Her chest heaved, her eyes gleamed, and in a voice steady but trembling with emotion, she said, "There's something I've never told anyone, not even my husband." The room hushed instantly. My heart pounded in my chest. What could she possibly mean? Elena smiled faintly, her gaze sweeping across the crowd before finding mine. "I used to dream of this, of dancing on stage, of feeling alive under the lights. But I gave it all up when I chose another path. I thought I had buried that part of me forever, but tonight reminded me it's still inside me." The crowd erupted again, cheering, clapping, celebrating her honesty. But I sat frozen, processing her words. All these years, I had never asked about her dreams. I had loved her, yes, but perhaps I had loved only the version of her I wanted, not the whole of her. When she came down from the stage, flushed with energy, she slid into the seat beside me. Her eyes searched mine, vulnerable now. "I'm sorry if I embarrassed you," she whispered. I shook my head, though my chest felt heavy. "You didn't embarrass me," I said slowly. "You surprised me. I never knew this side of you." She smiled faintly. "Because I never let you see it. I thought if I buried it deep enough, I could be who you wanted. But tonight, I realized I can't keep hiding." We left the club hand in hand, silence stretching between us like a fragile thread. In the car, I finally spoke. "Elena, I don't want you to hide from me. If dancing makes you feel alive, then I want to see it. I want to know every part of you, the parts I've ignored, the dreams you've tucked away." Her hand squeezed mine, her eyes shimmering. "Do you mean that?" I nodded, and in that moment, something shifted between us. 4 years, we had been partners, companions, caretakers of a shared life. But now, for the first time in a long time, we were something else. Two souls rediscovering each other, daring to be raw and real. The weeks that followed were a journey I hadn't anticipated. Elena signed up for a local dance class, something she had once abandoned in her youth. At first, I thought it was just a hobby, but as I watched her bloom, I realized it was more. She was reclaiming a piece of herself she had lost. And I was part of that journey. I went to her classes sometimes, watching from the sidelines, cheering her on. We talked more about her past, about my own unspoken dreams, about the fears we had carried silently for too long. Our intimacy deepened, not just in passion but in understanding. Of course, there were challenges. Some nights, I struggled with jealousy, watching her dance so freely, admired by others. But instead of burying it, I spoke to her and she listened. And in return, she shared her insecurities, her fear that one day I might not accept the woman she was becoming. The truth was, I had fallen in love with her all over again. Not the quiet, safe Elena I thought I knew, but the fiery, complicated, vibrant woman who had taken the stage that night and shocked us all. Months later, she performed in a small showcase organized by her class. As I watched her under the lights once more, moving with grace and power, I realized that the truth, which had come out that night, wasn't just hers, it was ours. The truth was that love isn't about holding someone to who they used to be. It's about embracing who they are becoming. And when my wife took the stage, she didn't just rediscover herself. She gave me the chance to rediscover her too. That night at the club had shocked everyone, but it had changed me most of all. Because I learned that marriage isn't the end of discovery. It's a journey of endless surprises, if only we dare to see each other fully. And I'll never forget the moment I realized I was still falling, still choosing, still loving her under the lights on the stage, and in every quiet moment after.